On Friday, July 17th, the world's most valuable company lost its crown. Not because of earnings, not because of a scandal, because a Beijing startup most Americans have never heard of posted a set of benchmark scores. Moonshot AI released Kimi K3, and within hours, the AI supply chain buckled. TSMC fell 7% on the very day it reported 77% profit growth. SoftBank dropped 9%. The Nasdaq 100 slid, Nvidia slipped, and Apple overtook it as the most valuable company on Earth. One model from a company founded in 2023 repriced the entire trade. Traders immediately called it the second DeepSeek moment. I think it is something more specific and more important for your wallet. Let's get into it. Here are the stakes in one number. Kimi K3 costs about $15 per $1 million output tokens. Comparable output from the top US frontier model runs about $50. Same league of capability, roughly 70% cheaper. And on July 27th, Moonshot says the weights go public, meaning anyone with the hardware can download the model and run it themselves, paying no one. Token prices sound abstract, but they are becoming a basic input cost of the economy, like electricity or shipping rates. If intelligence gets 70% cheaper overnight, every business that buys AI saves money. And every business that sells AI has a margin problem. Your job, your software tools, your savings if you hold tech-heavy funds, all of it sits downstream of this number. Here's what we know. Kimi K3 is a 2.8 trillion parameter mixture of experts model, the largest open-weight release ever announced. On Moonshot's own tests, it is competitive with Anthropic's best model and ahead of earlier US flagships. Independent numbers back that up. A 76% win rate on a major front-end coding arena, a score of 88.3 on Terminal Bench, and one independent leaderboard ranking it the best available model, full stop. Context makes it sting more. Anthropic's CEO had suggested Chinese labs were about 6 months behind the frontier. On public tests, K3 just shrank that gap towards zero. Now the honest caveat, and this is analysis. Vendor benchmarks are marketing until third parties finish kicking the tires, and leaderboard wins do not always survive contact with real work. But the early independent results are strong. Chapter 2, the price war because $15 is not even the floor. DeepSeek, the lab behind the first China shock, ships its V4 stable release on July 24th at roughly 44 cents per million output tokens, about 75% below Western rates. DeepSeek is reportedly raising fresh capital at a valuation near $74 billion, up from about $50 billion on annualized revenue of only $400 to $500 million. Here's what I think that pricing really means. Chinese labs are not trying to win on margin. They are trying to win on ubiquity. Give the weights away, undercut hosted pricing, and become the default plumbing of global AI. It is the classic commodity playbook, aimed squarely at the most profitable product category in technology. When your competitor's strategy is to make your product free, your business model is the target, not your model. Chapter 3, Why the Market Flinched. Follow the second-order logic. US labs justify premium prices and hyperscalers justify staggering spending. With a scarcity story, frontier intelligence is rare, so it commands fat margins, and those future margins justify hundreds of billions in chips and data centers today. Open-weight models at frontier quality attack the scarcity, not the technology. That is why the sell-off hit the supply chain hardest. TSMC down 7%, SoftBank down 9%, Meta down more than 2%. And it is why Nvidia, the purest bet on endless AI capex, briefly handed the crown to Apple, the giant that has mostly sat out the spending race. To be clear, this paragraph is interpretation, not fact. Markets move for many reasons, but the pattern rhymes with early 2025, when DeepSeek erased hundreds of billions in chip market value in a single day. Chapter 4, The Politics, because the timing was not an accident. K3 dropped during the World AI Conference in Shanghai, where Xi Jinping delivered his first ever keynote at the event, and launched WAICO, the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization, headquartered in Shanghai with 29 founding countries including Russia, Pakistan, and Kazakhstan. Here's my read. Open weights are industrial policy. If the world's developers build on Chinese models because they are good, cheap, and free to download, China gains the kind of platform power America once got from Windows and Android. Washington's strategy has been restricting chip exports to slow Beijing down. Beijing's answer is to give the software away and squeeze everyone else's AI economics. Two competing theories of technological power are now running head-to-head in public on a weekly release schedule. Who wins? Anyone who buys intelligence rather than sells it. Developers and businesses just watched their input costs fall again, and startups building on open weights can now match products from rivals spending 1,000 times more. Inference hosts win too. Fireworks AI, which serves open models, just raised $1.5 billion at a $17.5 billion valuation. Apple wins almost by accident. Cheap, capable models make on-device AI easier, and it reclaimed the market cap crown without joining the capex arms race. One nuance from the hardware crowd: running a 2.8 trillion parameter model still demands serious GPUs. Cheaper intelligence usually means more total usage, not less. Economists call that Jevons paradox, which longer term could help the very chip makers who just sold off. Who loses? Closed model margins, first and hardest. If a $15 open model matches a $50 closed one, the premium must be earned through reliability, security, and enterprise trust, not raw capability alone. The labs mid-fundraise feel it most. Anthropic is steering toward a potential trillion-dollar IPO, and OpenAI has a $300 billion 5-year cloud commitment to Oracle to feed. Both stories lean on premium pricing holding up. Also exposed, anyone whose retirement portfolio quietly became an AI capex bet. Index funds are stuffed with Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, and TSMC. And a caution for K3's eager adopters: open weights from any lab, any country, deserve scrutiny on data provenance, security, and safety before they run inside your business. Cheap is a price. Trust is a cost you pay later. 60 seconds on the rest of the week. Item 1. Google's Gemini 3.5 Pro missed its release target for the third time, reportedly after underwhelming internal coding and reasoning results. Alphabet shares fell about 4%, and the company is said to be preparing a stopgap release called Gemini 3.6 Flash. In an open-weight price war, delays cost more than pride. They cost pricing power. Item 2. SAP is acquiring Prior Labs, a German lab building foundation models for tables and spreadsheets, in a deal worth over €1 billion across 4 years. Sounds boring, and it isn't. Most business data lives in tables, not chat windows, and Europe's biggest software company just paid $1 billion to own that layer. The bottom line: the going rate for frontier intelligence just fell by roughly 70%, and the weights go public within days. That is good news if you buy AI, hard news if you sell it, and a genuine geopolitical event either way. Watch 3 dates. July 24th, DeepSeek V4 ships. July 27th, the Kimi K3 weights drop. Then big tech earnings, where $500 billion of AI spending faces its report card. If you want the money side of the machine economy explained without the hype, subscribe and turn on notifications. We post daily, and the current lands twice a week. See you in the next one.